Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first episode of Jay's Weekly Podcast. So, obviously, it is the off-season, and the Blue Jays are somehow still in the running for the one and only Shohei Ohtani, and that's probably going to be the topic of our conversation today. Isn't it, Drew?
Yeah, it might well be.
Before we talk about that, we have to talk about some other things that have happened in the league lately. Mookie Betts moving to second base, Verdugo traded to the Yankees, Jared Kelenic traded to the Braves, stuff like that. So, let's start off with Mookie Betts moving to second base. So, the man 2 days ago, I think, saying that he was going to be their everyday second baseman. So, Mookie Betts, obviously, he had a great season, and he's a bit of a utility guy. He played some right field, played some second base, even played some shortstop. And so the next year, it looks like he's going to be playing second base mainly. So this might influence some of his Dodgers teammates in a few ways, based on where they play. Like, for example, what's his name? Miguel Rojas. Like when Lux went down for the season, like he stepped up. He's very good a defender, but his offensive production really took a turn for the worst. And obviously this means that Mookie is going to be able to pick that up. And obviously the Dodgers still the favorites for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Who they'll probably end up getting anyway.
But we're hopeful for Toronto.
We are hopeful.
We are hoping for Toronto, obviously. I'm wondering, do any of you guys have any ideas of who's going to replace Mookie out and right?
Out and right. So, Jason Hayward, obviously, he re-signed. He re-signed with the Dodgers on a one-year $9 million deal. And I believe that James Outman, he was a Rookie of the Year finalist. Mm-hmm. He's going to take over in the outfield as well. And then I don't follow the Dodgers that much, but do either of you guys know who their third outfielder is going to be? Do they have any big prospects coming up? Maybe they were trying to get Verdugo and they failed?
Maybe. I mean, I do not really know much about that. One thing I am following with the Dodgers is, I don't know if you guys heard, but obviously Trevor Bauer is available.
He is available.
He is indeed available.
From Japan. Coming from
Japan. Might come back in the league. And apparently,
back to the Dodgers again.
He might.
He
We
might come
don't
back
know.
to the Dodgers.
We don't know. But apparently, I was watching a video the other day, and apparently a lot of the guys actually liked Trevor Bauer.
And
And
the coaches didn't agree with
the
that.
coaches probably didn't agree with that, but
Mookie Betts was one of the people.
yes,
who
Mookie
liked
Betts was
Trevor Bauer.
indeed one of those people.
Well, they do have a few guys.
Jason.
They could get a guy like Ahmed Rosario, or they could get somebody like that to move to the outfield. Obviously, he's not really an outfielder. Or you could get Jake Marisnick to move.
Do
to the
we have
outfield as
any
well.
ideas or leads on where Matt Chapman is going to sign?
So I did see something on MLB.com a few days ago that the Chicago Cubs are showing lots of interest.
Really, man,
yeah.
I'd feel bad if I went to Chicago. Their clubhouse is absolutely messed up right now.
Well, if they manage to re-sign Bellinger, then that would be something. I still think that they are the favorites to sign Bellinger, but I've heard that the Mariners and Cubs are also.
Cubs might re-sign him?
Cubs might re-sign Bellinger, and the Mariners and Cubs are both in talks for Bellinger and Chapman as well.
Oh, okay.
Bellinger's a big part of the Cubs team.
He is probably the number 2. He's probably the top position player free agent, other than Shohei Ohtani, and obviously Matt Chapman probably third. So it is.
Although there
a big
is
deal.
Juan Soto. We have heard talks about the Yankees.
Juan Soto is on the market as well.
The Yankees, are quite
probably
likely
to
get Juan.
So the Yankees. So apparently, AJ Preller, who is the Padres GM, he was asking for the Yankees for an unreasonable amount of players, both in player caliber and just in players themselves. He was asking for Michael King, Clark Schmidt, and even Drew Thorpe, who is their top pitching prospect. So.
I mean, Juan Soto's good, but he's not worth like a trillion thing.
He's not as good as Shohei, but he's still
especially not for 1 year. But obviously his agent is Scott Boras. So every team that trades for him, they can't be trading for him like, oh yeah, we're gonna trade for Soto and then sign him to an extension.
Yeah.
Boris is going to take him into free agency. Obviously, what's his name? The Nationals offered him an extension worth $440 million before they traded him, and he declined. So he could. Honestly, I don't think he's gonna.
That reminds me kind of like Aaron Judge. When he declined.
I don't think he's gonna top Shohei Ohtani's contract this year. So he's a free agent next year. Mm-hmm. But he could get up to $500 million in free agency if he puts up another year.
There's a lot of skill coming up on the free agency market.
Yeah. So it's going to be a tough, lot of money going
And then, obviously, moving back to the Blue Jays, 2 years from now, Vlad, Bo, and Biggio all go on to the free agent market. Yeah. And as of right now, it's looking like Danny Jansen could be the top catcher on the free agent market.
I know, which is a problem, because the Jays need clutch, and Danny Jansen is the only person I'm ever seeing that from. So I went to a bunch of Jays games last year, and in most of them, Danny Jansen had a big part to play. Although it was kind of sad to see him get hit in the wrist a lot.
Yeah, many players on the Jays, you just see many games and they can't do anything what they have. Like, they have bases loaded so many times.
Can't do anything.
With one out and they
Danny Jansen is one of the guys who can do that.
Yes, that's what we're trying to say here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jays signed him to a bigger contract than he probably deserves.
Well, so comparing him to other major catchers who have gotten extensions like JT Realmuto and other catchers who have signed a free agency. You got JT Realmuto. You have other big name catchers.
Didn't JT just re-sign with the Phillies for like a lot of money?
I don't think he just re-signed. I think his contract is just holding him up for a little while longer.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at that now.
So another thing, Bo Bichette trade rumors, those have basically just gone because Bo Bichette's not getting traded.
Not now. Hopefully not soon. I mean, he's good.
He's good, but he's not.
He's not.
A lot of people are saying that the Jays window is 2 years. I think it's only one because after this year,
if we don't do something, if we make the
playoffs
and we don't win another game, we're gonna lose a lot of our guys because they won't want to play here.
They won't want to play, and it's just gonna be.
Well, but that's the thing. Going back to Shohei Ohtani, which we are gonna start to talk about right now, folks. The Toronto Blue Jays are considered by MLB Network equal odds to the Dodgers to sign Ohtani. They each have a 30% share, according to MLB Network.
The Cubs are next in that with 20%.
The Cubs do have a 20%
I think that
chance.
Angels 2% should be bigger.
I agree. I think that the Angels, as of right now on MLB Network, it looks like they have a 2% chance to sign Ohtani.
I think that should be much bigger, actually.
I think that the Angels have a higher chance than the Braves, who are listed here at 10%.
Agree with that. And I'm pretty sure, I think the Giants have lost a lot of their oomph. So I think they might, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
I think the Giants could probably drop down to 2. They're at 5 right now.
I think the Giants are also favorites to sign Matt Chapman as well. Last time I checked. Yeah. So, yeah, it's the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. Obviously, the final day of winter meetings today. It doesn't look like it'll get decided in the winter meetings.
No, people think that we'll probably have an answer by Monday.
Yeah,
that's what I was
it might even go longer than that.
Yeah, it could go longer, though. Obviously, John Palmarosi is a terrific reporter. He says that he thinks it'll get done at some point this week.
Yeah.
But doesn't
that would be cool, honestly.
It will get done in the winter meetings. It would be cool. It'd be even cooler if he went to the Blue Jays. And I can't express how perfectly he fits into that Blue Jays lineup.
Yeah.
A lefty power bat. Obviously, he does clog up the DH hole. But he could not fit into that Blue Jays lineup any better.
No, I agree. Although what I am wondering about, I might just be behind. This might have already been asked and answered, but I was wondering whether since Shohei can't pitch next year, unless he's gonna be like Bryce Harper, who can magically just recover partially, and then we can start training again. Or even play in the outfield. He's done that before.
So in Japan, he
played some right field.
He did play some right field, and in the Angels in 2018, I believe, he did play a few innings in the corner outfield.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, you mentioned Bryce Harper. I wonder if at some point maybe he becomes a closer rather than a starter.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen in 2025 because he's just such a good starting pitcher.
No, but just when his arm wears out, it'll be less pitches, but it'll be good situations for him.
And instead of moving to the outfield, I wonder if they move him to first base.
Yeah, like Bryce.
Like Bryce Harper.
Probably do that. He's pretty big.
Especially
Vladdy being DH.
Or not even Vladdy being DH. If you fail to extend Vladdy long term,
then he could just replace
that
him.
works too. Yeah.
Okay, so adding on to my point, do we know whether like the team that gets him is gonna sign him to a multi-year deal,
Or it's just gonna be 2,
or if it's gonna be 1 year? Because if you sign him for 1 year, then you only get him when he's able to hit. But if you sign him for more, you'll be breaking your bank more than maybe some teams want to.
Yeah.
But then you'll get the value of like 2 superstar players.
I think the contract is going to be 10 years. I think it's going to be 10 years, and I think it's going to be around $550 million with an AAV
I
of
agree with that.
$55 million a year. But then also having an opt-out after year 2 and an opt-out after year 5.
Yeah.
To ensure that Shohei has the chance to leave.
And he doesn't feel trapped.
And doesn't feel trapped. Kind of like, obviously Mike Trout says he doesn't feel trapped.
He definitely does. There's no way. If I was in Mike Trout's situation, I wouldn't be on the Yankees.
I kind of think that he will either sign big with a team that he thinks can win the World Series, or he'll sign small
with a team that has potential,
like the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So I do see what you're saying, but if you're Shohei Ohtani,
popularity is tiny, but big.
If you're Shohei Ohtani, right, and you get a 10-year, $550 million deal offer from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you get a 3-year, $150 million deal from the Blue Jays, you're probably going to go for the Dodgers one, right?
That's more money, longer. It's a better franchise.
It's a better chance to win.
Jays. Exactly. They won it. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really count that bubble year, like with the shortened season, but they did win.
They still won the World Series, and they've made the playoffs each of the last 10 seasons.
Exactly.
So they succeeded in the playoffs, like Drew said. Only in 2020 when they won the World Series.
The bubble year. Which most people kind of look back on that and it's like, no, that really didn't count. But it's still there.
It's still a World Series.
Exactly.
It's still a win. Unlike the Blue Jays, who haven't won
a playoff game in like 4 years.
It's going to be over 30 years now until they've won the World Series. So another thing I do want to bring up, George Springer, obviously he took a massive downfall.
We are paying him too much. We pay him
$22.5 million to hit 260.
He also gets paid a lot of money to hit like super well in the postseason.
And in September as well.
Did he do anything this year in the postseason?
Yeah,
absolutely no.
This season he went on an 0-for-16 hit streak.
Exactly. I believe he did.
You see the guys.
He did something, but it was not good.
You see the guys in the playoffs, like on the D-backs and Rangers, they have 390s in the postseason.
I actually wish I like Dalton Varsho. I'm a big fan of him, but I'm kind of I think it was a mistake to trade away Lourdes and Gabriel Moreno because they went off. And Dalton Varsho had like a mediocre season, you know?
I think Varsho's defense cannot be matched by anybody.
I know, and that's why we traded him along with the base running.
I think that his power potential is also insane, but hitting for a 220 average and only getting 20 home runs.
It's not.
If you're gonna hit 220, you want to get at least 25, which is what Matt Chapman has done the past years. Obviously, he didn't get either of those this year.
And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. This year he hit 261. 261 with an OPS over 700. Gabriel Moreno. Hold on.
Also did good with.
I think he did
especially in the postseason. Especially in the postseason.
Almost batting
300.
Almost batting 300. OPS at 750. Slugging percentage at 400. I really don't see I understand that their base running and their speed and their defense were not great at all.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot to sacrifice. I know you couldn't have predicted that they would have been that good.
And the Varsho would have been that bad.
I know, but Looking back on that, I don't know. It might have been too much of a risk to do.
It might have been good there, but now that you see the stats this year, come on.
I shouldn't have done that.
So if you're Ross Atkins, right, and you're under pressure from the fan base after a humiliating playoff defeat, and you understand,
that one.
we don't need to talk about that because that was very, very, very bad. Anyways, if you're Ross Atkins, you're under pressure from the fan base. You're probably under pressure from Mark Shapiro as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
And the entire company of Rogers. If you're Ross Atkins and you need pitching and defense.
So
Varsho brings the pitching.
Yeah.
Varsho brings the defense.
Varsho brings the defense.
And he also brought in a ton of pitching. So at that point, I don't think it was a bad move. However, I would have traded Alejandro Kirk instead of Gabriel Moreno.
I agree with that. Because we like that. Wasn't he like the number one prospect in our system?
He sure was.
And the Jays have a very good minor league system. So I think last year I went to a couple games where I saw like Ricky Titan play. And
Ernie Clement, Davis Schneider, Spencer Horwitz.
Davis Schneider, man, I feel like he's kind of like a Gabriel Moreno.
I feel like he's not really a Gabriel Moreno because Moreno is projected to do so much better. And I don't know what round.
Same thing with Davis Schneider. Although he kind of Davis.
If you look at
Davis
Schneider's
monthly list
this year. No, but they didn't know. They didn't know until Bo Bichette got his like.
Well, they brought him up obviously in that Boston series where I think he went 8 for 13 or something crazy.
Yeah, that was his first MLB.
So if you look at his splits though, in August obviously he hit 426, and then in September he's totally dropped off. In September
was dead. He had a really bad.
He barely hit 150.
Although in October he was batting 500.
He played one game.
I know.
So he went 2 for 4.
Yeah.
Still, 2 for 4. One hit can change the outcome of a baseball game.
I don't disagree. Yeah, that's definitely true. I think so. If the Blue Jays, let's say they don't get Shohei Ohtani, let's say they don't re-sign Matt Chapman, and let's say they hold on, never mind. Let's say they do sign Shohei Ohtani. And let's say that they don't do anything else. They don't sign a third baseman. They don't get a second baseman. They don't sign another starting pitcher. They don't sign a closer because that's something that I know Jordan Romano's a good closer, but he blew up later in the season.
He's on and off.
Are they actual contenders to win the AL East with just Shohei Ohtani added?
No. They need some backup. Shohei needs help. That's reliable and that can hit in moments that we need.
Do Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette count as that help?
Not in clutch situations, no.
Okay. What about you, Gru?
I think Shohei's a very solid part if we get him as the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But I also agree with Drew because we need that backup because one player cannot change every single game of the season. Yeah. Because right now I feel like we don't have that really good player and that really needed backup that we.
So here's what I'm gonna say: if we take more of a Moneyball strategy, and no, you know the movie Moneyball.
Yep.
So Danny Jansen, we all love him. He's cash for clutch. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If we find a lot of players with clutch, if we find a third baseman that doesn't even actually have to be great.
He just has to be good.
Exactly. And he has to be reliable. If we can find people that aren't worth a lot of, that aren't, they don't have to be crazy.
So you're thinking maybe a Jeimer Candelario type of thing at third base?
Yes, someone that's reliable and that can hit in spots where you need them to perform.
And that's not too expensive.
Exactly, because we don't want, if we want to get Shohei, we're going to have to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're going to have to try and outpay the Dodgers.
The thing is, I don't think he will sign a crazy contract with the Jays.
I mean, but you never know.
The guy being who he is, he's really good. He's a pitcher and DH.
Yeah.
He wants to win a World Series
and
be
he does.
MVP. But
I don't know
will
if
he believe that he can
Jays.
happen with the Jays? So that's why he might lean towards the Dodgers a little bit more.
He might, and they could probably offer him more money too.
Yeah.
Well, the Dodgers. See, the thing is, in baseball, I don't think we should be that concerned about playing guys a ton of money because it's not like hockey, it's not like basketball, it's not like football. There's no salary cap, And obviously,
I agree.
I do understand what you're saying in that maybe they.
There's still a limit to how much money an owner has.
Yeah.
Yes, but when the owner's net worth is over $20 billion, you might.
But I understand that. But the Dodgers owner has more money than the Jays.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
By, I think, quite a bit.
Okay.
And I think that might persuade Shohei because, not even because they can pay him a lot more money than we can,
Right.
but because they have enough money to confidently go out and get him back up.
Right. And Shohei, like as I said earlier, Shohei wants to win a World Series.
Yes.
He can't do that
By
without
himself.
backup.
Exactly. Tell me what you think there, Drew.
So, I think that Shohei Ohtani is obviously going to get a ton of money, and I do understand what you're saying with the Dodgers having more money. I think it's not necessarily about how much money the owner has; it's about how much money they're willing to spend, and we see that with teams like the Mariners.
Yeah.
They've been cutting payroll, they've been doing all this stuff, and it just hasn't really worked out for them. Obviously, they traded Jarrett Kelenic a few days ago, stuff like that. I'm going to give you this, though, okay? So, what if this happens? You sign Shohei Ohtani, sign Jeimer Candelario, sign Ahmed Rosario, and sign IKF, and you trade away Santiago Espinal. Do you think that is...
I think that is actually good, because Santiago Espinal is always on and off. We don't play him a lot, so there's no point in just having him sitting there. He was an all-star. I think, was it this year or last year?
Last year.
No,
this year.
But he didn't perform as well as he did. He only played, he did not play a lot of games.
Yeah, so...
I feel like he was the guy that would back up for Matt Chapman or Bo Bichette.
So, one thing here is that your lineup versus... If you sign Jeimer Candelario and Shohei Ohtani, right? If you were to do that, I don't even think you need all those other unnecessary moves. I truly think that you're all set. Because if you... Candelario... is that your lineup would look something like George Springer, Shohei Ohtani,
Bo Bichette,
Vladdy, Biggio, Jansen, Candelario.
Although I think Ahmed Rosario would be a good person to have, just because in the middle infield it'd be helpful to have an extra kind of...
so that you're not relying
like a Kevin
on
Biggio type guy.
And second base, it's it kind of always switches between Whit Merrifield, Davis.
I know, where is, I think...
It's... So I think we need one solid guy and just a backup kind of lineup.
So in case you guys forgot, Whit Merrifield is a free agent.
Oh yeah, do we know where he's gonna go?
He's been on MLB Network a few times.
Okay. Does he express any opinions? Do we have a chance of re-signing him?
Honestly, even if we did, I don't think we want to re-sign him.
I know, but he's it. So
he's not clutch.
I know, but he has lots of experience.
I still don't think that if you were to sign Shohei Ohtani and re-sign Whit Merrifield, I don't think you're a contending team. I think you need more.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So for our bullpen is a weird situation though, because a lot of our guys. So Romano just absolutely blew up at the end of the season.
Yeah, but
I think we can replace him with.
What if you re-sign Jordan Hicks?
I mean, Jordan Hicks
has.
But he's inaccurate.
Yeah, he just throws the ball
as hard as he can.
Yeah, it's good that he has that velocity, but
because the Jays pitch hard, but we're not crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And
it's not like some Felix Bautista has the accuracy, good pitch mix, and throws hard.
The great thing is that I think we need here. Scroll down.
Yep.
I think we need I'm really happy that we have Chad Green and that he's good now, because he's reliable. He has experience, and if we can make our bullpen kind of with velocity but also with accuracy and can get outs, kind of like the Baltimore Orioles, who now can platoon between between Felix Bautista and Josh Hader.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't signed Josh Hader yet, but if they do sign, although I did see something that they're very close to getting Craig Kimbrell.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's even...
Kimbrell and Orioles are closing on.
They're going to have a crazy bullpen. I mean, those guys...
Orioles already do.
I mean, I know. It's amazing. I mean, they're probably going to be the strongest team in the AL next year.
Unless the Jays sign Shohei Ohtani.
Unless the Jays sign Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
I agree with that.
One last thing. Do you think if you're so let's say I'm AJ Preller, right, the Padres GM, and you're Ross Atkins, and I say, okay, we're willing to give up Juan Soto, but in return we want Nate Pearson, Spencer Horwitz, Bowden Francis, and Alek Manoah. Do you make that trade?
I mean,
I kind of feel like we have too many players that aren't the best they can be, and that we need someone better to trade for them. So
I agree with you, but I think we have really good prospects, and I don't think we should be giving away that many for someone who's not
he's not crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, so if you look at Juan Soto's baseball savant page,
he's good. He's really good.
There's a whole lot of red.
Yes, he's very good.
He obviously defensively he sucks, but he is actually Vladdy is worse defensively. He is worth it. He'll give you a 1,000 OPS. He'll give you a ton of home runs. But yeah, if you don't see that worth it, yeah.
I mean, but I see what you're saying, but I really think that our facilities and our prospect line
get better.
Are so good that they have some potential to match up to that.
Okay.
If you add up a bunch of the guys that you just talked about,
yeah,
I think they come close to a Juan Soto. If you put all their skills and potential
what about
together,
Ricky Tiedemann instead of Spencer Horwitz? Yes, no.
It's probably the same. It just depends.
So I think that you can trade Vlad for Soto.
Vladdy?
I do.
Yes.
Vladdy's just.
I agree with that. He didn't find his stride. He's hitting the ball too
And I feel like since he won the home run derby, he kind of feels like he has that confidence and power, and he just swings at everything and tries to get home runs.
He got a little bit better throughout the season, after the All-Star break.
But you watch him,
he'll be
and especially in
he'll be
clutch,
waving at pitches.
He doesn't really have an eye, and he cannot hit the ball.
Same thing with Bo Bichette. I always see him swinging at pitches that are 13 meters.
Except Bo Bichette can actually hit it.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Vlad, Bo, so many other things next week on next week's episode of Jays Weekly. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.